crack open a Homebrewski, because today we're talking about Mercurial slimes. Deep beneath the surface, something squelches within untapped caverns filled with rich ores and small ecosystems composed of complexitive life forms. The largest single-celled organisms, known as oozes, thrive in these desolate environments, needing little to nothing to survive, but still attempt to consume everything in their path regardless. Because of their generally acidic cytoplasm, they absorb a great deal of natural minerals along with any organic matter that passes through their slimy paths. One remarkable transmutative phenomenon that can be observed is when a mundane oozean creature absorbs quantities of liquid mercury. When first absorbed into the outer membrane, the biology of the ooze immediately begins to shift, mass replicating the mercurial mineral until its entire cellular structure is recomposed into an organic metal. It remains amorphous and relatively torpid, however it has now developed the natural capability to adapt to most situations. Its membrane is capable of softening and hardening on a whim, becoming as soft as dough or as impenetrable as steel. Its extendable pseudopods are also capable of shapeshifting into facsimiles of known weapons, such as hammers, swords, and spears. This talent alone has resulted in the rare mercurial slime being considered to be definitely one of the most dangerous of the oozes. Its ability to flex its membrane's durability and reform its pseudopods are far from the only adaptations this metal gelatin has developed. Scholastic evokers have discovered that the mercurial slime has fascinating reactions when exposed to the three major energy types in elemancy: fire, cold, and lightning. When subjected to superheated temperatures, the mercury membrane begins to sublimate into toxic gas that is lethal to most forms of organic life. When subjected to temperatures below 38 degrees, the organism itself becomes nearly immobile and lethargic. However, its metal membrane then freezes to become even more resolute. Finally, when subjected to an electrical charge, its conductive form partially absorbs the energy for a few moments, becoming a living conduit of lightning before returning to its passive state. Notable artisans have taken special interest in these mercurial slimes, as their bodily composition makes the creative mind run wild with possibilities. After the walls began to crumble in a subterranean thieves' guild chamber, revealing one of these quicksilver menaces, the guildmaster saw endless potential in harnessing the slime's power. The mercurial key is any thieve's best friend for several reasons. For one, the ever-shifting tip of the key is always morphing, trying to fit the ideal size of any lock that it comes across. Because of its inconspicuous design, a thief could stand in plain sight picking a door, making it simply look as if he had gotten his key stuck in the lock. In addition, the key makes itself into a perfect weapon in a pinch, as the key can also be swiftly converted into a small magical shank capable of returning to its wielder if within a certain distance. The Quicksilver symbiote, on the other hand, is an alien-like creation that stemmed from rumors of a maniacal biomancer who was obsessed with ooze-based life, collecting samples of everyone he had come across during his time as an errant adventurer. This was until he was found dead in his lab, slouched on the floor with a peculiar silver ooze squelching from a vial in his hand and from his lips. After a suspected culprit was identified through magic, it was quickly discovered that the biomancer had created a magically modified mercurial slime, capable of imprinting with the blood of one who would attempt to attune to it. Once the bond had been established, and the slime ingested, it would form a symbiotic bond with its host, granting them supernatural capabilities. Such aberrant talents include the ability to leap incredible distances, squeeze into impossibly small holes, turn one's limb into weapons, sprout lethal tendrils, enhance the host's awareness, and more. This Quicksilver symbiote was quickly classified as a form of superweapon, turning even the most mundane peasant into a legendary threat. Another fascinating discovery found during the arcane dissection of this magical slime was the fact that the creature's nucleus had been engineered to sustain an intelligent consciousness. In theory, if an individual either attempted to transfer a soul or consciousness into the magical symbiote, or simply cast the Awaken spell on it, it would be capable of storing this intelligence and gain the ability to telepathically communicate with the creature it was attuned to. The Rod of Lordly Might is a legendary relic, coveted in many realms as the ruling weapon of versatile combat. However, this artifact was not always the deadly rod of tricks it is known as today. It humbly began as a warsmith's first delve into the world of mercury weaponry. The pocket armory, as it is referred to as, is a rod fashioned in the shape of a weapon grip with a screwable cap on one's end, housing a sizable deposit of quicksilver harvested from the mercurial slime. While being held, the wielder can command the liquid metal to take the shape of any known melee weapon, whether it be the mighty imposing maul, the flourishing rapier, or a classic bastard sword. Because the material is a bit unstable when swung, the base of the weapon can waver and wiggle a bit like rubber, sometimes causing the weapon's strike to stretch a little further than normal, granting a minor reach to the designated weapon. This weapon, when combined with a great deal of other magical components, for example a Slaghog's tusk, runestones, wraith ectoplasm, wyvern venom, and a beholderkin's eye, infused with a hell of a lot of love, attention, time, and gold, can be used as the perfect base for constructing the Rod of Lordly Might. Finally, the most recent discovery regarding the ooze harvested from the Mercurial slime is that it makes a remarkably unique paint. Unlike lead, water, oil, or acrylic-based paints used throughout the millennia, one particular virtuoso of the arts had found that when she painted using a mix of pigments and Oogian mercury, the colors on her brush and canvas had shifted to almost the exact hues she conjured within her mind's eye. After presenting this discovery before the local mages college, it was found that the paint could be used as a perfect material component for a spell only considered in theory. Snapshot, as the spell is referred to as by the wizarding collective who created it, is a first-level divination spell with a simple premise. The caster can designate a blank canvas they recently had come across, and upon incanting the verbal component, the mercury paint would spill across the canvas to magically paint exactly what the caster was perceiving at the precise moment of the incantation. When cast at higher levels, the spell was capable of revealing magical secrets sequestered behind the veils of illusion and shape-changing. This spell was quickly introduced as an instrument of espionage as well as the means to peer behind the veil of the Elder Realm, having one discard their sanity to portray what exactly they beheld in their fleeting moments of consciousness. The famous mage Nolzer later went on to use these mercury-based paints as the primary ingredients in his famous marvelous pigments. This concludes our in-depth study of the enigmatic Mercurial slime. Remember that a creative mind and a stroke of luck is all one needs to forge their own paths. Please be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you would like to see more, and leave a comment for any suggestions or feedback you may have. We hope you enjoyed your Homebrewski, and we'll see you next time.